Pisces and daisy people. There are daisies everywhere coming up because today, after days and days of rain, we've had a full day of sun, so we've had bees and daisies everywhere, which is lovely. Let's dive right in, do a Celtic cross and see what's going on for you and if we can unlock anything. Oh, lovely. Interior is the Magician. It's your new moon today that I'm recording this, although it's timeless. I'm recording it in your new moon. And how that makes you act on the outside. 8 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles. Lovely. Basis of the reading. Basis of the reading. Got the moon's the moon's sticking out to me here. I can't ignore it. And the Hangman. And something from the recent past. The Tower. The 5 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. Wow, we've been going through a bit of a time. All right. And potential outcome is the 4 of Pentacles. Something from the near future. It's flipped, so that's ours. It's the World. And then your attitude. The attitude of Pisces and daisy people. 2 cards. The Empress and the 10 of Pentacles. Gosh, that's beautiful energy. And your environment. Your environment. 2 of Swords. Hopes and fears. Hopes and fears. The Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. And where it's leading. We've got the Emperor, the 6 of Swords, and the Page of Wands, which is rather lovely energy to end on. Right, let's dive straight in. We've got 6 majors, so it's quite heavy. 7 majors. It's quite a big time for you. Maybe something to do with this new moon. I guess things will be switching up quite a lot for all of us around this time. The little that I sort of, I watch quite a lot of astrology reports because it feels clear to me that things do change. Sorry, that was a text coming through. Do change with these big planetary shifts. And we've got the eclipse season coming up. And I'm a Pisces rising, so I kind of look at what's going on for you. At the basis of the reading is having to change our perspective and a sort of sense of not knowing and emotionality and sort of groping around in the dark somewhat. So looking at the cards here, it's talking, I think, about how you present in the outside world. How you present in the outside world, how you get your message across, how you are reborn in this time, I suppose. So, inside, you feel amazing. You've got this lovely magician energy. With all these beautiful flowers at the bottom. And I can see how much she's stretching up. So there's a real sense of needing to change something about your environment at the moment. Change things up. Bring in this positivity. Start to have agency and action in the world. And how that makes you act on the outside is really working on the way that you message, that you communicate. Maybe there is something to do with social media. Maybe it's to do with the way people perceive you and how you want your image to come across, where all of this is coming from. But this is what I'm feeling strongly for you. And also the kind of words that you speak, like spells. You're working on it. You're prepared to put the hard work in to make sure, because when you see these two together, they almost kind of look as if those wands are hitting all of those pentacles. as if they're going to sort of fertilize them like eggs, sperm to eggs. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you want to make sure that your words are very fertile, that your messaging, that your goals are giving way to something really incredible at the moment. And as I said, at the basis of the reading, needing to have a perspective change, there's a sort of pause, probably to do with this new moon, the eclipses, what's going on for you. Personally, I don't know, but it feels as if it's been quite an emotional time, quite a kind of unclear time. So you're hanging like Odin upside down in order to gain a perspective shift. And in the recent past, we can see why you might be doing that, because there's been 2 of the nasty 5s and the Tower. So we've got something built on the wrong foundations, followed by a fight that no one feels good about the outcome with, whether you won it, whether somebody else won it. Horrible. So maybe there was some altercation at work or with your family, and now we're sort of focusing on all that was lost. You can't turn round yet to look at those, or this was in the past, you're not turning around to look at those 2 cups that are still standing. And one potential outcome is that you might batten down the hatches and decide to stay stuck for a stage for a while. This is a stage card because of these 2 lines. You might just think there's been so much change, I need to stay in this pause moment. But then coming up in the near future, you start to put yourself in the wreath of success, and there starts to be an acknowledgement of all that you've been through and who you are, which I love. And in your attitude, like your interior world, like what comes up in the near future, something very, very, very fertile and positive about you at the moment. The 10 of Pentacles is generational wealth. The Empress is the great mother, creator, gestator, abundant, giving, generative energy. So you have got something quite incredible going on inside you, despite these disappointments. And maybe because of this hanging around and this moon-like energy of sort of allowing things to sort of rot down and fertilize and metabolize and change. And because of that wonderful Pisces thing that you guys have, of allowing things to be, I don't think you would necessarily be uncomfortable in this environment, because you are emotional, you are poetic, and you understand the sort of liminal, odd edges of things. So maybe it's a very good place for you. Maybe this is a very good place for you, and it makes you very fertile. And maybe it's where you should be working, where you should be putting your energy, is trying to sort of interpret that for the rest of us in a way. In your environment, yeah, there's a sense of people not knowing which way to go. A decision needs to be taken, this sword or that sword, holding them over your heart with your arm starting to hurt, blindfold on. It's the minor to the High Priestess. The moon is still in the sky. There's a sense of not quite knowing what way to go. Now, as I said that, I just said before that maybe you need to interpret for us. So as this is in your environment, maybe you need to use that amazing sense that you have of these in-between spaces. And as I said, maybe this represents not you in confusion and not knowing how to use your intuition, but maybe someone or some people at work, or maybe you have a following, or maybe you have a group of friends who could benefit from your insights at the moment, your emotional, deep insights. If it is you, it could be you, because we see one aspect of you staying in the stuck position of the 4 of Pentacles, and this again is stuck. It might just be that everything is so changeable, and you're still getting this messaging right, and you're still working with that 7 of Pentacles, who's really about working slowly and steadily, and we're still not quite at the harvest point. So it might be you waiting for the right time. And then in your hopes and fears, you want this new start, and you want it with all the imagination and romance that's very much like you. This Page of Cups, you've got, this is what you want, this abundant new start, the pentacle that the Empress could grow. And where it's all going, the major four of the Emperor, the Six of Swords, and the Page of Wands, which is wonderful. Some structure around this change, this getting yourself into calmer waters, from these rough waters into calm waters. After all this altercation and difficulty in the past, after this big pause with the Hangman and the Moon, we see you now moving yourself into a very sort of more protected, structured. So this was the potential outcome, the minor four. Now we have the big energy of the Emperor, who I think would be very good for Pisces energy, containing and structuring, allowing your excitement and your wisdom to have some space. Right, I'm going to pick you. We're going to just see what the Tarot of the Enchanted Forest have to say on this reading. See if there's anything else that we're meant to focus on. 2 cards. Oh, 3 cards. Oh, so much sadness. Well, it's interesting. We've got the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Spells, which is about unleashing your passion on the world, which we see coming up with the Page of Wands. And the 10 of Challenges, which is the 10 of Swords, and the 3 of Challenges, which is the 3 of Swords. They're quite tragic cards, those two. And look at him with his fiery breath. It's as if he's sort of saying, we've been through that. I can give you perspective on it. I can change it. Let's read about him. I know that this chap is abandoning his children in the forest because he doesn't feel he can feed them. It's dreadful. It's about making a decision at a moment of extreme need. And this guy, let's have a look, the 10 of Challenges. 10 of Challenge. Oh, I just went past him. 10 of Challenges. In brief, defeat, surrender, ruin, the death of a dream, give up and move on. An aged knight sits weeping, his faithful steed at his side. He's racked by despair and defeat. Many long years he's quested in the forest, pursuing a mythical beast who became his life's obsession. Along the way he fought bravely with countless other knights, never shirking his service to causes of righteousness and nobility, but relentless time has claimed him at last. All the fights left him, and the beast has not been seen for a very long time. The old knight's sword and helm are battered and rusted. His quest is over. Perhaps it was mad to begin with. When the knight appears, take it as a message that it's time to face reality, cut your losses, decide where to go from here. In a way, it can be a relief. This is as bad as it gets. You don't need to fight anymore or pursue an impossible dream. You get to lay down your sword and walk away. You can win, but you can't win, but you're not done losing. I think this talks about what's happened in your past, this extreme disappointment. But here is the mythical beast in a way, the wyvern. It's like a dragon, but it's got 4 legs, and it's one from the forest. So it's saying, just at this moment where nothing seems to work, I want to say the sort of perception, the honed perceptions of a Pisces can actually find the way through, that you guys can find the way through. And maybe you're helping other people with this. At a glance, a new sense of purpose, a new revitalized project, magic, will, fearlessness, confidence, a burst of energy, the fire energy element. Let's heat things up. And it says, a wizard's staff without a wizard is just a stick. Intention is everything to magic. So, and that was sort of like, do you remember when we started talking about your magic words, going towards creating something, those sperms to the eggs? I think this is you regaining that ability to talk magically. Maybe you are doing some sort of spells. Maybe you've got a manifestation process. Maybe you're being really careful with how you talk to yourself, and not bringing into being what you don't want. It's just lovely. It's a lovely restart. And again, now we have a pentacle and a wand. Again, like the wands and the pentacles in your attitude. So I think you can withstand this stress and be reborn. is what I'm seeing here. And you have. And what does this set of cards from the Shining Tribe say to us? 5 of Tradition and the 6 of Rivers. Let's have a look. We're going quite quickly because it's chilly and it's good to get these out quickly. Oh, 5, it's the major 5 of Tradition. So that's the Hierophant. Finding your path either through tradition or on your own searching, a sense of protection, of trust and hope, wisdom, also responsibility, secret actions to help others, so sometimes social institutions, especially marriage. Yeah, this helping others thing, I think it's you and other people that you're helping. In many traditions, we find the idea of secret beings, sometimes enlightened humans, sometimes spirits who maintain the world. Usually they act in secret without reward. That's beautiful. These pathways of life, as well as the knowledge, the blah, blah, blah. So it's transformation and a sort of sense of somebody, a secret spirit that's helping. Now, either you are the secret spirit or you're open to the messages of the secret spirits. And when we see you as the hangman, maybe that's what you're doing, hanging upside down, getting us that kind of information that you can share with everyone. The flower in the center gives us an image of nurturing. In times of fear or stress, we can meditate on this card, placing ourselves in the circle to feel protected. The flower grows in the desert. Similarly, a fish leaps from dead waters. When we join ourselves to sacred energy, our lives change and what seems dead comes alive with joy. Simple trust and hope may sustain us, but we also benefit from ancient wisdom and the vitality of teachings and rituals. This could, as tradition, this card can signify any spiritual teaching that inspires a person. This seems to me more suitable to our eclectic global communities than the older image of the Pope or the esoteric Hierophant. So you could be this kind of spiritual teacher, or you're certainly tapping into some real deep wisdom. And then the 6 of Rivers, which I know is a lovely card as well. You're I feel like you're getting us and everybody else through this. And the 6 of Rivers says, sensuality, pleasure, love, deep feelings emerging out of shyness, are willing to expose your emotions, a slow development of a serious relationship. It says if you get this card, have a long perfume bath with flowers, wear soft fabrics, something gold. This card often appears in readings when people have suffered trauma such as divorce or long illness and now are beginning to emerge once more into the light. So I think that's where you're at. You're totally healing. That's beautiful. I'm not going to read all of that. Who can I hear up there? That's my boyfriend is waving at me, I think, in a minute. I know he's doing some guarding. And we've got 3 cards from, yeah, that's beautiful. From the tiny Rider Waite, which, just to cap this off, it's saying, yes, there's a time of pause. We can see that in the Hangman, but it's alchemizing you into the center of your world. And the Justice, 3 majors. So we've got the World card, like coming up in the near future, where everything is just right. I feel like everything is being put into its right order. Thank you, because I think you're helping us too. So thank you, Pisces and Daisy's people, and see you again soon. Thanks.